on the Nisi Athena lenses.
Right, and we are shining to see kind of what happens.
If you want to know what goes into a 4-day documentary shoot, then you're in the right spot. I'm finally off to another production, this time in Copenhagen, and I thought it would be a good idea to document the whole experience through a little bit of a behind-the-scenes/vlog, so that, you can gain some knowledge, you can learn something, and I can take you on the journey with me. Now I have to board the aircraft, and I'll see you in probably like 17 hours in Copenhagen. Alright guys, so I'm just sitting at the airport in Bangkok and I'm finishing the cinematography Bible, which is basically a document that will help us navigate the shoot. And within this document, I'm setting up all the different rules. I'm finding inspirations for the scenes, framing, lighting, and so on. If you're interested in knowing more about this, there's a whole video on my YouTube channel that I did particularly from this project. So go check it out. Alright guys, I checked into the Airbnb, had a shower. Before that I had a coffee in this nice place called KIF. And now I'm heading to the rental house to pick up the lenses. And I'm gonna prep the gear, wait for the director Ethan, and then in the evening straight into the shoot. Alright guys, gonna be shooting on the Nisi Athena lenses in PL mount. Just picked these up. Never shot with these before, so I'm quite excited to test them out. And Kinefinity PL mount. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna prep all the gear before Ethan arrives, build the camera, test the lenses, and then I'm probably gonna get some lunch. Alright guys, so the camera is built up. As you can see, this is gonna be the build for this particular shoot. Titan arm for the monitor so I can switch between shoulder rig and handheld. I have a small rig follow focus, which I normally don't use, but because I have the Nisi Athena cinema lenses, I need the follow focus because the focus throw is too long, and so this helps me to get smoother focus. Yeah, what else? Bright Tangerine handles, left field 3 base plate. I have Xsoon 4K CineView transmitter here, and then I have Xsoon M7 CineView M7 Pro monitor, which serves as a receiver as well for Ethan, who's gonna be the director, so he can monitor the image. Gonna be recording in 4K UHD ProRes 444, 25 frames per second, and then I have some other presets for 50 frames per second, and I also have a low shutter preset, so we can get that low shutter speed effect. Now I'm just gonna wait for Ethan to arrive, and then gonna prep with him, and we're gonna start shooting soon. Alright guys, we have wrapped the shoot for today. How was it, Ethan?
It was good. It was good. We were working in a confined, not like well-lit space, but we managed to get some beautiful shots using the light from the projector, using a little bit of a cheeky fill, putting that just out of frame where we could.
Yeah, that was good.
Light, and just also really powerful and strong character interactions. I think that's the big thing we got today. You'll be confronting people from these energy companies. I wasn't expecting that, and it really added like a lot of, it showed the stakes, which was really cool.
Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in and let you know that the film we shot in Copenhagen, The Last Line, is already out on Vimeo. You can check the link in the description below. And if you like the film, also consider checking the second link, which actually leads to a fundraiser. Because this first film that we shot together with Ethan and the team is just the first step towards something bigger. ideally towards a feature documentary that focuses on highlighting the stories of climate activists from all over the world. And the next leg of the production will happen in November in Brazil during the COP30 conference. So if you like the first film, check the links in the description below. And we would be extremely grateful for any support, whether you share the film, you tell about it to your friends, or maybe you consider a financial support. Now, back to the video. Time to sleep, wake up in 4 hours.
That's it. That's the name of the game.
Good morning, guys. Now is 5 a.m. We're sitting in the McDonald's getting our morning dose of caffeine. Camera is ready. Ethan's ready, getting the
BTS
film camera ready. BTS camera. And gonna start shooting with Nyombi in about 15 minutes. Gonna shoot a train ride, him getting on the train and some contemplative shots. Thank you. And hopefully we're gonna get the sunrise on the train. Yesterday we checked the footage from the cinema, and we got decent stuff. Super happy that the Kinefinity has dual 95 ISO because it was so dark in the cinema, and I'm really enjoying using the Nisi lenses and the follow focus. We're trying to get a lot of BTS stills, videos, whatever, so that this project can be later pitched to a funder, and obviously they will want to see some BTS and the process behind it. So yeah, that's the status. And now gonna drink the coffee and then hit the road. Alright guys, we just got out of the train. We had like a 2.5 hour train ride. There's a lot of reflections, a lot of light changing, so trying to work around it, trying to create something beautifully looking. And I think we did a good job, but unfortunately didn't have time to do any BTS. So now we just arrived to this train station. We have about 45 minutes here before our next train. Gonna grab some breakfast, coffee, and see what else we can get.
We don't want to see the lock screen, and we don't want to see the Apple logo.
That was very hard for me even to share in the beginning where support my stay, and it delayed, and I couldn't stay for so long.
When you think of the word home, what?
Alright guys, let me talk about this interview frame because it might seem a little strange. You know, it's definitely breaking some of the rules that you might hear on YouTube, and the reason why we did it is because we wanted to create a feeling of strangeness. You know, Nyombi lives in an asylum center and he's estranged there. It's not his environment. So we didn't want to do a traditional interview setup, but we wanted to go for something that feels off. For that reason, he's looking outside of the frame. There's white walls behind him. There's no decoration because that's how the asylum would look. But we actually didn't film this in the asylum. We filmed this in an Airbnb, and we basically stripped down the walls, which were white. White walls always make it difficult because it's difficult to create some shadows. We added some negative fill. We used one key light, and we also added light outside to create the feeling of a moonlight or daylight. We weren't sure how we're gonna grade it yet. So yeah, interview looks strange, but the idea was to make it look strange. For that reason, we broke the rules, and I'm actually happy with what we've created. Good morning, guys. So now it's 9:44 a.m. We had a late start today compared to yesterday where we woke up at 4 a.m. And today is kind of an easy day. We gotta go around, do some drone shots, establishing shots of the city maybe, or of the landscapes. And then we're gonna start driving back to Copenhagen and wait for Nyombi in Copenhagen. He's gonna arrive in the evening, so we might do a little bit of filming with him at the train station or around. But yeah, super easy and super chill day today. So yeah, not a lot of happening actually. So after arriving to Copenhagen, we checked in back to our Airbnb, and then we headed straight into the city to film with Nyombi. We were walking around the city a little bit, and then the main goal was to capture a phone call with his sister somewhere in the park. So we did that, and as you can see, we stayed within those interesting or strange framings where Nyombi is looking outside of the frame. He still feels limited, but there's definitely more positivity in these frames because of the interaction he's having with his sister, who's also in exile but in London.
I think as well, just, it's with all this going on, you can get quite sucked up into kind of what's happening next, just the safety and
At the camp. So when I got the residence, I was like, yeah, I think now I can now start.
To know the footage is the only way that you'll ever be able to start seeing the edit.
So do you watch all the footage?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
So you got to go through all the footage, and at this stage of the edit, where we've got the rushes, the editor will begin making their selects, highlighting really brilliant moments of B-roll, really brilliant moments of dialogue between characters, anything that stands out as very usable. At the same time, someone is sitting with that transcript and busy making sure that we can string together the narration or string together the thread of the story on paper. And if it works on paper, it generally will work on screen too.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's lots of different aspects to the process. And sometimes, you'll find you can just do one of them. So you can finish this process, get the transcript out, complete paper edit, build the paper, build the spine of the whole edit. Like if you're doing something that's very interview heavy, you'll do a paper edit, you'll cut together the dialogue, then you'll go back and find the B-roll.
Yeah.
That matches.
Start with the interview spine.
Start with the interview. But something like this that we're shooting, we've got a master interview, but it's a lot of in-world stuff. You kind of need to hybridize and do the paper edit along with kind of building the film in the edit itself.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun when you organize things correctly because then you can just clear the kind of fog and be creative.
Good morning, guys. We are on a mission to get weird angles.
Yes.
Trying to capture Copenhagen in a little bit of a, what would you call it? Geometrical, modernist, inanimate
Slightly bizarre, slightly alien almost.
way.
For our character at least,
Yeah. So we're doing that, walking around with a tripod and just trying to get some empty shots of the buildings and architecture. All right, guys. So we're just standing here over this little bridge, getting some low shutter, sort of a time lapse of the people going underneath the bridge on the bikes and running. And these will be a little more traditional / non-traditional establishers of Copenhagen. Good thing or good tip that Ethan just had was, how was it? Shoot in threes.
Shoot in threes.
Shoot in threes. So if you're doing a certain style, a certain visual style, let's say like a low shutter, make sure that you get at least 3 shots of that so then you can cut it together in the edit and it flows better. It's not just a one random shot, but you kind of have a whole sequence. So it's the first time I heard that, and I'm gonna use it for me.
A tip for documentary filmmaking is you don't want anything to feel too orchestrated. You don't want to create an event. You want to capture an event. But I think within reason, it's okay to ask people to perform a certain action again. So if you have someone handing something over to another person, that's an organic action. You've captured that in the moment. It's okay to ask them to, can you maybe just do that again? We want to film a bit closer. But I don't think it's, something that you should do if there's something over there and you suggest, hey, I know you're not planning on doing this, but do you mind just passing this to that person and fabricating events that aren't happening organically? That's where you need to be cautious. But you can have people do things, once or twice. You don't want it to become performative though.
it has to be authentic.
After the morning architecture shoot, we headed to this afternoon event where Nyombi is going to be speaking. We wanted to capture this because it's an event that his friends and the organization he used to work for is organizing. So there's going to be a lot of familiar faces and an environment in which he's going to be feeling like he belongs. And so we wanted to capture that, Nyombi interacting with people, being on the stage, and so on. After this, we also headed to a park to capture a few more last scenes, and then we dropped Nyombi off in his new accommodation, said goodbye, and we headed to our own place. All right, guys.
First one going.
Is it
A wrap.
a wrap?
Yes.
Oh, guys, it's a wrap. It was long.
It was challenging.
It was challenging.
It was fun.
It's fun.
It was went as good as it could have.
Yeah. Now post-production is on this man.
That's where the magic happens.
We're gonna
Again.
clean the gear, pack the gear, and then tomorrow I had one more day in Copenhagen, and then heading back to Prague. So maybe I'll see you tomorrow, bowling.
The person you thought I